Adrian Cole never expected a simple errand to destroy the life he had so carefully designed. The portrait was meant to be a polite gesture, nothing more proof of refinement, not love. But the moment he stepped into the quiet art studio, everything shifted. The artist was Nora Hayes, the woman he had left behind without explanation. Before he could process the shock, a little girl looked up from her drawing and smiled. Her eyes were unmistakably his. In a single breath, Adrian lost his fiancée, uncovered a child he never knew existed, and came face to face with a past that refused to stay buried. Adrian Cole had spent his entire adult life perfecting the art of distance. As the CEO of one of the fastest-growing investment firms in the country, he believed control was the highest form of survival. Emotions complicated things. Attachments created weakness. That belief had shaped every choice he made, including his engagement to Vanessa Ryder, woman chosen not from love, but from alignment. She fit his world the way polished marble fit a corporate lobby. Impressive, flawless, and cold. The portrait was meant to be a formality, a public symbol of commitment. A future wife required a gesture grand enough to satisfy families, boards, and headlines. Adrian selected the artist without interest, letting his assistant handle the details. Names no longer mattered to him. People came and went, only results stayed. Yet the morning he drove to the studio, an unfamiliar weight pressed against his chest. He blamed exhaustion. There was no room in his life for intuition or unease. The studio felt wrong the moment he entered. The air was warm and thick with the scent of oil paint and turpentine, nothing like the sterile spaces he ruled. Sunlight spilled unevenly across unfinished canvases and scarred wooden floors. Adrian slowed, unsettled, though he didn't understand why. Then he saw her. Nora Hayes stood before an easel, her back to him, brush moving with calm certainty, dark hair loosely tied, paint stains on an old sweater. She looked nothing like the woman he remembered, and yet everything about her felt painfully familiar. He said her name before he realized he had. She froze. When Nora turned, time collapsed, years disappeared. Their eyes met, and the silence carried every unspoken truth. She didn't rush toward him or step away. She simply looked at him, steady and guarded, as if she had already survived this moment in her mind. "I didn't know it was you," Adrian said, the words empty. "I didn't know either," she replied quietly. Before he could say more, movement near the floor caught his attention. A little girl sat cross-legged nearby, humming softly while coloring. At first, Adrian barely noticed her until she looked up. Blue eyes. His eyes, the recognition hit him like a physical blow. The child studied him with innocent curiosity, then stood and walked toward Nora, pressing against her leg. Nora's hand settled protectively on the child's shoulder without thought. "This is Mia," Nora said after a pause. "She's 3. The number echoed inside him. 3 years ago was when he left, when ambition felt heavier than love. "She's yours," Nora added, not with anger, not with accusation, but with certainty. Adrian felt his world fracture. He sat down, no longer trusting his body. Nora told him everything: how he vanished, how unanswered calls turned into silence, how she chose to disappear rather than beg a man who had already decided success mattered more. She had built a life alone, not out of bitterness, but necessity. That night, Adrian ended his engagement. Vanessa's outrage filled the penthouse, sharp and calculated, but Adrian felt only clarity. Control had cost him everything real. He returned to Nora without demands. She set boundaries. Money meant nothing. Trust would be slow or non-existent. Adrian accepted every condition. He showed up quietly, sat on the floor with Mia, let her decide the distance. He learned her laughter, her questions, her trust. Then came the hospital. Mia collapsed suddenly. In the harsh hospital light, Adrian learned what helplessness truly meant. He waited beside Nora through endless hours, holding her hand, praying without words. When the doctor finally said Mia would recover, Adrian broke completely. From that moment, his life changed. Meetings canceled, priorities reordered. Presence mattered more than power. Mia healed. Nora watched, cautious but hopeful. One evening, Nora revealed a painting, not a commission. The 3 of them, imperfect and real. Adrian knelt not to reclaim the past, but to ask for a future built on patience. Nora said yes, and for the first time, Adrian Cole understood. Love wasn't something you controlled, it was something you stayed for. Watch till the end to see how one hidden truth changes everything. Will Adrian prove he can be the father and man he never knew he could be? Don't miss this powerful story of love, regret, and second chances.